Money rules and how to stop being broke. Hey, my name is Lea and welcome back to my channel. We are going to dive right in straight away. Invest more than you spend. Write down all of your monthly income sources and also your monthly expenses. Like maybe you have subscriptions that you need to pay, or maybe something with your car, or even your rent. Write everything down. Also the amount of money that you spend on food and other things, and write it down, and then you will directly see how much money you have left. And then you will see how much money you are going to have in the end of the month that you don't need for food or other important things. And then you need to realize how much you spend on useless things. You need to invest more than you spend. So maybe if you have 500 euros left in the end of the month, you need to save more than 250 euros and invest it into something that will give you more money, and the rest you can spend. I would say you should invest 300 euros and then 200 you can spend. Maximize your income and minimize your expenses. Search for a job where you can get as much money as possible. I mean, it should also be something that you like to do, so don't force yourself to do a job that you don't like because of the money, but you should find something that gives you a lot of income. And you should minimize your expenses, so don't go out for food. You can cook at home, it's also healthier for you. And if you want to buy something, you need to ask yourself, do I really need this dress? I already have 3 similar dresses at home and I don't even wear them. So think about everything that you buy. Always ask yourself before you buy it if you really need it. Spend your money on things that give you more money back. Don't buy something that will just lose the value. For example, if you buy a really expensive car, I mean, there are also cars that will have an increasing value over the time, but most of the times cars don't increase, they decrease in value. So it's not a good investment to buy a car from your saved money. You should invest it first in something else that will give you more money. I'm not going to recommend you things directly that you should invest in because I'm not giving you investment advice. But for example, this could be gold or crypto, or you could buy a property and rent it, or you could start small businesses. You put the money that you get from your job into your business, invest it into yourself to get more out of it later. Another really important aspect when it comes to saving money is don't buy things to impress people. So I see it a lot of times because we have Insta and other social media platforms where people just seem to be floating in money, and we think to ourselves, oh, I also want to have it, this is so cool, and then we are also buying these things. But most of the times what we don't even realize is that all of these big influencers that have so much luxury don't even really have that much luxury. There are some documentations where people realized that the influencers just buy the things and then give it back, or there are also some places where you can rent like a private jet and then they take pictures in it for Insta, and then they will just pay them for the hour and they don't even fly private jet. So we also need to think to ourselves that all of these things could be fake. Most of the times they are fake. So we should also not be impressed by it, and we should also not try to impress people by buying a bag from a designer or something. Because most of the times it's not even worth the money, because the quality is also mostly not the best. So you should always look out for quality and not for a logo, because we tend to think that if something has a logo on it, it's high quality, it has a high price, so it must be good. But it's not the case. There are also some documentaries where people find out that, I think, like a big designer brand produces in the same company where a cheap brand, I think it was Shein, produces their clothes. So it's not good because it's expensive. Always look out for quality, not for a logo. Improve your skills as much as you can and your market value will also increase. So try to learn as much as possible. Read books, watch documentaries, try to get as much knowledge as possible. And also specialize for one thing, so you get really good in this one thing. Invest in things that have real value and will be worth more in the future. You can inform yourself. There are so many different resources where you can look out for things that will have more value in the future. And if you just invest every month a little bit of money into it, in 40 years you will be happy. I mean, the more you buy or the more you invest, the faster it goes, right? But one thing that I also learned is that if you want to save money and save a lot of money, make a lot of money, it takes a long time. If people tell you that it's fast, it's not. So also give yourself the time. Just try to save more money and invest it in things that will be worth more in the future. Cut off things that you're paying for that you don't really need. This could be a subscription to an app or other things that are completely useless. I know some people that have 3 different or even 4 different apps for music. You don't need that much. Just have one and you will see that you're also saving money every month, because sometimes we don't even really have a clue what type of subscriptions we have. So also list it. I also did it a lot of times, and you can also write it down. What type of subscriptions do I have? Do I really need them, or can I just end them and save some money every month? Something that really helped me is saving money and putting it somewhere where I cannot access it directly. In this way, if you are maybe also tending to buy useless things, you get stopped because you cannot access the money directly, and therefore you can save money and invest it directly without spending it on useless things. You should also always have an emergency fund, because you don't know what will happen in your life. And if you don't have an emergency fund, this can end up really bad for you. You should have an emergency fund, and you should always try to avoid debt. Especially if you're young. I think it's so dangerous that we can access like different credit cards and possibilities to go into debt, like PayPal, Pay in 30 days, or Klarna, different apps that we can access while we are still young, and that can lead us into big debt. So try to avoid it. Even though if you want to have something, wait until you can buy it with the money that you already have. Don't go into debt. This is so dangerous. A harsh truth is also that you will never get rich when you work for someone. I mean, you can get a lot of money, you can also live your passion, and then the job is right for you. But if you truly want to become rich and build a lot of wealth, have a lot of wealth, you need to find another way than working for someone. Because otherwise you will just be working from paycheck to paycheck, and you are working for their dreams. So you should always try to find something that you have that you could also turn into money. But this should not be the first thought that you have, because it needs to be something that you're passionate about, something that you would also do without getting money. But find this one thing and then get better in it. And in the future you can also make money with it and live for yourself, for your own dream, and create wealth. So this was it with my video. I hope you like it. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Bye bye.